I'm Michael Fox, and this is Prospector News Podcast, and we are on location at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference in downtown Vancouver. And I have a longtime friend and guest sitting across from me, Rob Bergmann, Director and CEO of Relevant Gold. Welcome back, Rob.
Great to be here.
Wonderful, Rob. For those people that aren't familiar with the company, let's tell them a little bit of what you are and what you do.
Yeah, so we're an early stage gold explorer developing Abitibi scale potential in Wyoming in the United States. We're a very technically driven group, and we put together and assembled a incredible team and a district scale portfolio of assets throughout Wyoming with strong connections, scientific connections to the Abitibi during the time of gold mineralization. So it's kind of under that thesis that we've been systematically developing our portfolio across the state, and we've been very pleased with the results we've had to date.
Yeah, when we sat down together in New Orleans at the New Orleans Investor Conference, which, wow, time flies. That seems like a long time ago, and it's only been a couple of months. But you had just completed your mapping and your sampling program, and the last of the drills were turning. I understand you gotten results back from the mapping and the sampling, and we're waiting on new results from the drills. But tell me what you guys learned about the mapping.
Yeah, it was a great program. Some of those assets that haven't had as much work historically, so it's good to get them, moving up the value curve. And they significantly did that. We identified a total of 6 new targets across two of those properties. 3 at our Bradley Peak project, where we had some very high grade shear hosted gold and some intrusion related gold and silver, as well as some copper in that system, with copper grades up to 6.25%. And so, again, continuing to support our thesis, but also identify very large district scale targets for, adding drill programs to the pipeline in the future. Additionally, at Shield Carissa, 3 targets there, intersected again, high grade gold, silver, where we had, I think it was just over 18 grams per ton gold and 486 grams per ton silver. And that's out of this 2.7 kilometer shear zone stretch. So really good looking targets. Very excited about those results and can't wait to get back out and continue moving those projects forward.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing. Now, the drill programs, they were away from that onto your core asset. I know there's no results that can be made public just yet, but tell us about the drill program and what you were hoping it was going to answer for you.
Yeah, so, it was a smaller 1,500 meter program on our heavy hand target at our Lewiston project. And this has never been drilled before. So really the goal of the program was to test these shears that we had mapped at surface, understand, do they extend at depth? Are we seeing the alteration and veining systems that we would hope to see to really prove this is an orogenic system? And, as we put out in our news release wrapping up that program, we certainly have intersected these shear zones at depth. There's a significant amount of hydrothermal alteration. So we're really excited to see what the results may bring. Any semblance of gold smoke in those results, and we'll be pretty eager to get back out there and have a much more aggressive drill program.
Yeah, last year you guys got delayed with weather in Wyoming. What's the weather been like this winter there so far? I know from my understanding, cold, really cold, and my God, it's cold. Yep. But how's been the snow cover?
Definitely cold, but so far we've been having a fairly mild winter, and the snow cover hasn't been too outrageous. So fingers crossed it doesn't continue to get worse, but typically we get in and start getting boots on the ground in April. Last year it wasn't until June, so you're absolutely right. The snow was a significant impediment to that. But this year, so far the snowfall has been limited, and we're kind of hoping it stays that way.
Okay, wonderful. So given the mapping results and the drill program, let's take a look at 2024 when you do get back out there in April. What you've learned and hope to learn with the drill results, how is that going to impact your planning for the programs for 2024? And what are you hoping to do and questions you want answered going forward?
Yeah, so I think, for us, we're always going to continue to focus on that broader portfolio, rating and ranking our targets, understanding which ones are truly the best, as well as simultaneously drilling out some of the top value targets. We'll probably get in right away, do some geophysics at Lewiston. We have an understanding that our gold mineralization in those shear zones is directly associated with arsenopyrite and pyrrhotite mineralization. We saw a lot of the remnant mineralization in the core. And so we've got some pretty good vectors as we go back into that. But some detailed geophysics will help light these things up, we think. So we'll get in and do that early, refine the drill program at Lewiston moving forward, as well as continuing to chip away at the broader regional program and get some of these new targets into the permitting queue for follow-up drilling in 2025.
So based on last year's results and that, how many potential projects do you have on that massive land package you're sitting on now?
Yeah, so out of the success from last year, we've now got more than 12 truly district scale targets. With high grade gold and associated minerals at surface in these Archean orogenic shear zone systems. So a dozen and counting. And as we continue to do more work, we're also should be getting our soil survey back from Golden Buffalo, where we hope to see some new targets come up there. So we've got quite the pipeline of opportunities in front of us.
Definitely. Now, for 2024, is the programs funded, or are we needing to go to the market for a little bit more cash?
Yeah, we'll probably go to the market and top up the treasury. We did end the year with quite a bit more capital than we had originally intended. We were very, fiscally conservative with our spend. We, really just kind of buckled down and bootstrapped it last year and got a significant program done on very little capital. And that put us in a good position turning into this new year. We also recently got a deal done on 700 hectares within our main Golden Buffalo asset, which has eliminated about 20% of our annual burn moving forward.
So we're going to be able to put more dollars into the ground then, essentially, without having to worry about other costs.
Exactly.
Those are always good results. So the drill program itself, what's the planned cost of the drill program for 2024?
So I think we'll be hoping to have about $1.5 million to $2.5 million program, depending on the market. It's at the end of the day, we spent about 1.4 last year on our total program, including drilling and regional. So we really think we can get a significant program out of that type of capital without taking on too much dilution for our shareholders. And again, as the largest shareholder of the company, I'm pretty dilution adverse.
Yeah, that's always. I love talking to CEOs that have skin in the game, because they're a lot more cognizant of the treasury and the results for their shareholders. And it's always it's one of the questions I always ask before I start talking to a company is, do you have skin in the game? How much? And the more skin, the more cognizant they are of the treasury.
Yeah, well, I'm eagerly anticipating getting some results out so I can get back to buying on the open market, as well as being able to participate in the next financing myself. So, I think when you talk about being aligned with your shareholders, the easiest way to prove that is through taking equity in the business and actually buying it.
Yes. Without getting too far into a forward statement, is that private placement due coming in weeks or a couple of months from now?
We haven't put a final pin in it, but I would expect it sometime in the next couple months.
Please note that was a forward-looking statement, and don't hold Rob to that one.
Yeah.
But it's good to catch up. I look forward to the drill results. Those are due roughly when? It's
So we're always at the will of the labs, and we have been seeing better turnaround times this year. So we're hoping to get all the results in the next week or so. Brian, our chief exploration officer and co-founder, as well as Dean Peterson, have prepped all the cross sections. They've started to build the geologic model, so we're ready to plug and play those results and put them out as soon as we get them back from the lab.
Outstanding. If people want to get a hold of you and learn more about the company and to participate in that placement once it's announced, how would they do so, Rob?
Yeah, so you can reach out directly through the website. You can also find the general email addresses there, or you can contact me directly at rob@bry.group. and happy to always answer any questions and take people through the story and the nuts and bolts of the technical merit.
Wonderful. I will make sure that email is placed in the comment section of the video that we've just recorded, so people can click if they need to get a hold of you. Look forward to having you back on. Probably we'll get together again at PDAC in a couple of months, and we'll have some drill results and some more excitement to talk about.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Michael. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Rob. Relevant Gold is a paid sponsor of the Prospector News, and the host owns shares and warrants bought at the market in Relevant Gold. The Prospector News podcast is for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and are not to be taken as investment advice. Listeners need to do their own due diligence and seek advice of a licensed investment advisor.